In my 5 songs that led down albums video, I deliberately left off final tracks as I feel they're easy to skip and disregard. But that's not to say there are some absolute howlers of final tracks on otherwise great albums, and sometimes I think it's almost deliberate, like leaving the audience wanting more, so you have a penultimate track that's absolutely brilliant and rounds the album up superbly. Then you have the final track which leaves you thinking, what the hell was that? So here are 5 examples of terrible closing tracks to otherwise great albums. Firstly, I'd like to mention Pearl Jam's Vitology album, an album with some duds and also some fantastic songs, and it almost ends on a high with the superb track Immortality, only that it doesn't after Immortality is Hey Foxy, Handle Mama, That's Me, or whatever the fuckless 8-minute dance track is called. I can't even remember the full title because it's so awful. I mean, I know Pearl Jam are on drugs at this point, but just why end an album with a noise? It's just not pleasurable at all. Sorry, Pearl Jam, but awful closer. Good job, but press stop after Immortality. And secondly, I'd like to talk about Married with Children by Oasis from Definitely Maybe. Now, the penultimate track, Slide Away, is without doubt the best song Oasis ever made. It's climatic, it's beautiful, it's got one of those best guitar solos. What a perfect ending for a brilliant album. But it doesn't end with Slide Away. After that, you have Married with Children. That may be the song as a time and place. It's just no pissing around with an acoustic guitar. Liam singing some almost ironically bad lyrics over the top, like the hook line of the whole song is your music shite. It keeps me up all night. This will be amusing as a buried bonus track or B-side on some B-list single, but to close an album where otherwise you could have had a track which should be one of the greatest closers ever. Just why did they think to do this? I do not understand. And thirdly, I know I'm gonna get stuff thrown at me for mentioning this band, but I feel the song is perfect for this list. Goodbye by Shed 7 from the Let It Wide album. And fourth, this one's controversial as some love it, some hate it, but I'm going with the Lemonheads cover of Mrs. Robinson from It's a Shame About Ray. Even if you detest Shed 7 and the Let It Wide album, you have to admit Chasing Rainbows is a beautiful song. Very melancholic, sad, reflective. I love the guitar solo at the end and the strings. It just rounds the album up perfectly. You don't want to listen to another track after this, especially not another Shed 7 track, some might say. But afterwards you have the track Goodbye, a kind of quirky, lo-fi acoustic song, which is just rather bland, and you think, oh, what much would have rather the album end with Chasing Rainbows. At number 4, I'm going with a controversial one, especially because I just found out this album was first released without this track, but got re-released a few months later with this track. I'm going with the Lemonheads cover of Mrs. Robinson from It's a Shame About Ray. Now, I know some people like this song, some people think it's fun, and yeah, it's a novelty cover. It's a very heavy version of a song you'd never think of as being heavy. I suppose it does make me smile sometimes, but there's nothing else to it. It's not a particularly enjoyable listen or musically that's great. You tire of it easily, unlike other Lemonhead songs which are nearly always brilliant, as is the cover of Frank Mills, which is the track before this that originally ended this album. So why they chose to shove a rather tedious novelty cover on the end, I don't know. And last but not least, or very much least, depending on how you look at it, I'm going with One for Cover by the Beatles from Rubber Soul. Now, some consider Rubber Soul a real turning point for the Beatles. It was their first album that moved away from the rather primitive but enjoyable pop they were making and started to make deeper songs, elements of folk, psychedelia started to creep in on this album, but talking about turning points, one for cover, the final track was definitely the point at which most listeners would want to turn back. Musically, it's a rather trivial attempt to sound like Elvis. Now, I admit I'm not mad on Elvis, but I prefer Elvis sounding like Elvis and the Beatles sounding like the Beatles, because that's what they both did best, and Beatles sounding like Elvis has no appeal to me. And lyrically, there's very little appeal too. The lyrics are very misogynist, threatening towards Lennon's girlfriend at the time. Vile lyrics that don't date well at all. Now, I'm not condoning when the Rolling Stones did this, but when the Stones did their more questionable songs, they were obviously doing it like performance, like deliberately shocking. But a track like this, you don't get that factor, and it's just vile and horrible. What an awful ending to such a brilliant album. Okay, there have, in my opinion, been the 5 worst closing tracks. Have I missed any out? Did I include any unfairly? Why not tell me in the comments? And if you like this video, hit that thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed. Thank you. Cheers.